Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 621 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show, we'll be finding out about the third in the trilogy of Breaking the Tranquility of Solitude from Eddie Johnson. He'll be along to let us know about that forthcoming release and talk a bit about the two books that are out there at the moment already. Codsall Dramatic Society let us know how they're looking for new members to tie in with the fantastic shows they have planned and a reworking of one they were about to bring to us just before lockdown kicked in. On top of that, we'll be hearing from Beyond the Barricade about their forthcoming shows. They're back in the rehearsal room, so we'll be joining them there. Beth Belle joins us with some brilliant music too, as she's about to head out on the road to care homes on behalf of Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre as part of their Dementia Cafe. Plus, we'll also be hearing England Together. Steve Heathcock joining us to update us. Now, the video has been released as a song is out there to buy on iTunes and also stream on Spotify. That's all on the way on the show this week. With the easing of lockdown, the barricades are coming down, but also heading out on the road. Beyond the Barricade is back in the not too distant future. I'm joined now by the gang to tell me more. Hello.
Morning. Morning.
So we've got everybody there by the looks of things, and the rehearsal room is the place to be by the looks of it. Andy, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, well, this is the first time that we've been together as a group. Since mid-December. We did one concert in December. We managed to snatch one concert down at Malvern Theatres when lockdown was eased, and then of course everything was shut down again. So this is the first time that we've managed to get together. We've got the band here. I've got Russ behind me and Dave Williams on drums. We've got Dan Goodyear over there, and I've got here's Poppy.
Hi.
David.
Hello.
And Katie.
Hello.
Now, we love seeing you out on the road. You're often in the Midlands, I mean, based around here too, obviously, under normal circumstances. But it's great, the concept of live shows coming back. And Dave, you in particular must be looking forward to this, as you're not allowed out very often.
No, I'm not allowed out at all without an escort. So, but no, it is nice to be looking to get back out on the road again. It's been a long, long time. And what shows have started to come together? Are we looking at theatres now?
At the moment, it's a slow burn with theatres because we're still waiting for that extra little push there from the government to tell us that we can go in without any social distancing. We do believe that's going to be quite a while. But we have got a couple of theatres. We're in Lichfield. It's our first show in Lichfield at the Lichfield Garrick, which is on the 23rd of May. Socially distanced, all nice and safe. And then we're down at Malvern Theatres on the 16th of July. Mm-hmm. We're also doing an outdoor concert around the Midlands. We're doing one at Oakhead, which is at Wolseley Bridge in Stafford.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the 18th of July.
So lots of chances to see you, and most importantly, hear you bring some music from some fantastic musicals to life. And I know you constantly mix up the different sets on what you have. So what have you got lined up for your audiences this time round?
Everything. Gosh, yes, we've got some new numbers and some taken out just to give a bit of variety.
Yeah, we do a big section from Phantom of the Opera, and of course Les Miserables, which is the big finale of the show. We do Blood Brothers, but also we've put in quite a bit of new material from shows such as Hamilton and Come From Away. What else? I'm trying to think of the new stuff.
Well, we're just actually actively looking at the moment. We're adding material from Hamilton as we speak, because of course it is the big musical everybody still wants to go back and see, and Come From Away as well, which is relatively new in the West End, having had that year off that we've all been enforced. So, yeah, so we're just rehearsing stuff from those two shows today.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're thinking about going back to see a show, you need a fix of everything, and this is where Beyond the Barricade come in. And with the fantastic range of singing voices you have there, it's going to be awesome. Dave, I mean, I know that you were one of the stars of the show, so what's your favourite in the current lineup?
Do you know, I think it's some of the new stuff. Come From Away, which I think is the most brilliant musical. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it opens again, I think, in August. Well worth a trip to London to go and see it. It is a great feel-good show. And so I mentioned Hamilton earlier. We're also looking at things like Secret Garden now as well. And, of course, you can't leave ABBA alone, can you? So we're going to get some ABBA stuff in the show as well.
That is purely so Andy can dress up as Agnetha again, though, isn't it?
Spot on, Jason.
We've got a band. We haven't prepared this, but have you got anything you can perform for us for a few moments?
Do you know what? We just literally walked in and plugged the mic in. But if you give us, we'll do the opening of Les Mis or something like that, because everybody loves a bit of Les Mis.
Okay, then Beyond the Barricade, take it away.
3, 4.
Prisoner 24601, your time is up and your parole's begun. You know what that means?
Yes, it means I'm free.
No, it means you get your yellow ticket off leave. You are a thief.
I stole a loaf of bread.
You robbed a house.
I broke a window pane. My sister's child was close to death, and we were starving.
You will starve again unless you learn the meaning of the law.
I know the meaning of those 19 years, a slave of the law.
5 years for what you did, the rest because you tried to run. Yes, 24601.
My name is Jean Valjean,
and I'm Chabert. Do not forget my name. Do not forget me. 24601.
At the end of the day, you're another day older. And that's all you can say for the life of the poor. It's a struggle, it's a war, and there's nothing that anyone's giving. One more day standing about, what is it for? When they less to be living. At the end of the day, you're another day colder. And the shirt on your back doesn't keep out the chill. When the righteous hurry past, they'll hear the little ones crying, and the winter is coming on fast, ready to kill. When they nearer to dying. At the end of the day, there's another day dawning. And the sun in the morning is waiting to rise. And the waves crash on the sand like the song of a reckoning second.
There's a hunger,
there's a reckoning still to be reckoned. There's gonna be hell to pay at the end of the day.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, live from the rehearsal room. And you guys don't need to rehearse. I think that's what that is telling me, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Jason. I mean, yeah, well done, boys.
I would like to throw you in at the deep end. That was absolutely fantastic. More of that, and there's shed loads more of that. Oh, and you go into the show. There'll be lights. There'll be all sorts. There'll be outfits. We won't see the Andy in his pajamas. We will have a great show. Give us all the details, the forthcoming shows, where we can get tickets, and of course where we can follow you on the socials.
Okay, so the first show around here, Lichfield Garrick on the 23rd of May. There are a few tickets available. It's sold really well, socially distanced. And then we're down at Malvern Theatres in Malvern, and that is on the 16th of July. And then the big open-air concert, the big outdoor concert that we're doing is at Oak Edge Park at Wolseley Bridge in Stafford. And those are all available on ctickets.com. Or on our website, it's probably easier actually, beyondthebarricade.com, go on there and all the dates are listed. But yeah, come and see us. If people are hesitant about indoors, we've got the big outdoor show in Stafford.
It will be amazing. I know that because it's you guys. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you again. Have a great time on the road. Break a leg because it's theatre. We have to say that. And we're very much looking forward to seeing Beyond the Barricade doing what you do once more across the Midlands and across the nation and globally. But that's a little way off yet. But it'll be back to global soon, won't it?
It will, certainly. Hope so.
Beyond the Barricade, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Cheers, Jason.
See
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Beth Belle has actually been out and about, a bit of bluebird belling and a bit of singing on her own right too. She's here to tell me more about what's going on, particularly as she has some fun stuff going on with the Grand Theatre. Hello to you.
Hello.
How is it all going?
Very well, thank you. Yes, very different to sort of this time last year when we spoke.
Yeah, I mean, because we were talking around the 75th anniversary of VE Day, and the Bluebird Bells obviously had a 1,000,001 events to go to, and then there was a number which stayed around online. I know that you've been doing a few bits and pieces where the situation has allowed, shall we say, but we've got some great stuff potentially coming over the next few weeks.
Yes, so I suppose the most exciting thing is that I'm going to be working with the Wolverhampton Grand Theatre, which is wonderful. I've done a few bits and bobs for them over the past year, which has been great, but now we are doing a care home tour as part of the Dementia Cafe, which is run by Remy at the Grand. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. And so we're doing a 2-week tour, and it's all being funded by the government's Culture Recovery Fund. So the care homes actually won't have to pay for the entertainment. So it's something really, really great for them.
And the music will be fantastic, I know, because you're going to be there. And you do some amazing stuff, as we've seen online. And I think with the great work that Dementia Cafe's done, Julie and Ian have been doing things on site at the Grand for a number of years now, and that's been so well received. I went along to their Christmas show a couple of years back now, and that was absolutely fantastic. And the whole ethos of the events we again brought to life with you going along and singing a few numbers in care homes across the region. And it's just going to be awesome, and I'm sure you'll be enjoying being out and about as well.
Well, that's it. I have done a few sort of garden shows over the past couple of months where they've been allowed, and it's been so wonderful being back at the care homes, seeing those residents again who I've not seen for a year, and they've had no entertainment at all. So the joy on their faces is just clear to see. And, it's all the songs that they remember, of course, even if they're in sort of the late stages of dementia. If they hear a song that they remember from their youth, their faces just come alive. And it's so special for them. So it's been wonderful, and I'm so looking forward to doing this every day for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So that is something to look forward to. Let's just cover off that one and how people get involved. If they have a resident in a care homes in their family, and they can get in touch with that care home or the care homes themselves. Yep,
so the sessions are available between the 28th of June and the 9th of July. You've got to email Remy L, that's REMYL, at grandtheatre.co.uk to inquire about booking a slot.
So get on there and check out all the details. Of course, there's loads starting to happen at the Grand. Grandtheatre.co.uk is where you can find out more. 01902 429212 for the box office for all the shows they've been releasing. But the Dementia Cafe is something that runs alongside all the work they do. It's part of their community outreach work. And it is all about keeping the arts alive within the city. And the Grand does so much work on that, not only through the Dementia Cafe, but all their other outreach projects. And, of course, with the Friends of the Grand too. So absolutely worth getting in touch, checking out the details and finding out what the Grand Theatre are doing. So I know we'll be talking to some of the team down there about their reopening in the not too distant future, and I know the first event they have planned is coming up in July, so check out that, and there'll be more to come as soon as they're able to get that confirmed. I know it because they're so keen to get back on stage, which is the important bit. But you've been also sharing some more fantastic music via YouTube, and we spoke again last year. You're working your way through an alphabet, but the music has sort of continued to flow even after you got past Z.
That's it. Well, it's so funny because when we started the A to Z songbook, we thought that we'd never get to Z. because we just didn't know, did we? Were told sort of initially it was going to be a 3-week lockdown, so 21 days, 26 letters in the alphabet. Really didn't expect that we'd get to Z, but we did. And then sort of, as all musicians, creators have had to diversify, so we found ourselves online. I set up my YouTube channel sort of this time last year, and I've just started posting covers. I've tried to be sort of innovative and interesting, so I like to clone myself. So that, I'm doing 3-part harmony, but there's also 3 of me on screen as well, just to keep it interesting. But I'm trying to just sort of do a real mix of songs. So as well as the vintage stuff, I did a Meatloaf cover last week, just of a song that I really liked. It was my little tribute to Jim Steinman, who passed away a few weeks ago. So I'm just trying to post sort of at least one a week or one every fortnight. Because YouTube is just such a fantastic platform, isn't it? And it's kept everybody going. It's connected us all over the past year. And so I've probably gained a lot more followers and fans based on that than I would just going out and singing in my usual way.
Well, because you normally are too busy to be able to do this sort of stuff because you're working the whole time, and whether you're part of a show or whether you're singing in your own right or whether the Bells are appearing at an event, there's normally so much going on. You wouldn't normally have chance. And to say you have 3 of you on screen, and this has caused some confusion, hasn't it? Because I enjoyed the one comment that came past on Facebook earlier this week.
Yeah, so I don't think somebody either he thought I was a twin, or he didn't realise that I cloned myself, and he said I should have more eye contact with the girl that I'm singing with, which is obviously a little bit difficult to do when someone's not physically there. But I thought I wouldn't confuse them and go back with that. But it is interesting and entertaining. I've had a lot of people, sort of message me and say, "How do you do that? I really want to do it with myself." And I'm only too happy to share my knowledge. Because I've had to learn from someone as well, but I've now got a full-blown film studio in my house. I've converted my dining room, so I do everything in there, and I'm very fortunate to have that. But yeah, my knowledge of filming and all that jazz has increased monumentally over the past year.
You do have a little assistance within the house as well, though, don't you?
From Wilbur the dog.
Yes, and I know Wilbur's featured in a couple of the videos.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's a firm favourite with the fans, Wilbur.
That's all good stuff.
With a large personality.
So you and your 4-legged friend will be releasing more videos. We need to get him to sing along at some point as well. That'd be a neat.
He's very vocal.
There must be an animation tool you can get so he is the other half of the singing.
Oh, I could try that. Are you setting me a challenge there?
I think we have a challenge for a YouTube video in the not too distant future as you're learning new skills. That'll be good. So where can we find out more about the Beth Belle experience, please? So
my Miss Beth Belle YouTube, which is my vintage personality, is youtube.com/Miss Beth Belle, and it's BELLE. And then I'm on Facebook with the same URL. I'm on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, diversified there. And then we've got the Bluebird Bells Vintage Trio as well. So if you just type us in on Google, all of the social media will come up. So please do follow us and check out what we've been doing. We actually did a very, it was a sort of a last minute idea. We covered the Wellerman song, the sea shanty that everyone was going for. And we covered that, and that's had over 500,000 views on TikTok. I never expected that. So it just shows that these platforms are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, it's sharing to an audience you never would have dreamt of before. And people drop in and they see stuff and then they share it, and you can see why they share it, because you're so blooming good. You're too talented for my world, to be fair. It is scary how good you are, but we absolutely adore everything you do. Check her out. Miss Beth Belle is what you're looking for, and of course the Bluebird Bells too. And it's available to book for parties and events, and all at very reasonable rates.
Of course.
Beth, always love to catch up with you. Thank you again for joining us, and we're now going to take a listen to a tune. So what have you got lined up?
This is my cover of She Loves You by the Beatles.
Something which you'll no doubt be requested when you're out and about doing your work in the care homes, and say the amazing back catalogue. And you could even have some the older members of our community rocking along to a bit of Meatloaf as well. That's not impossible, is it? But I know you'll be going down some of the more historic routes too, to help jog their memories.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be things like, how do you like your eggs in the morning? If I knew you were coming on a baked cake. There's a food theme here.
Well, thanks for joining us, and I shall see you soon, hopefully in real life.
Bye.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves lost your love. Well, I saw her yesterday. It's you she's thinking of, and she told me what to say. She says she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She loves you, and you know you should be glad. She said you hurt her so, she almost lost her mind. But now she says she knows you're not the hurting kind. She says she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She loves you, and you know you should be glad. Ooh, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. You know it's up to you. I think it's only fair. Pride can hurt you too. Apologize to her, because she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She loves you, and you know you should be glad. Ooh, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
The fact that Codsall Dramatic Society are on the lookout for a few new members for their latest production fills me with hope of the fact they're going to be back soon. They were, in fact, the last show I didn't get to see before lockdown started. I think that makes some sort of sense. To tell us more about what is going on, Wendy and Colin Peterson. Hello to you both.
Hello.
So, what is going on? What is happening, and what are the plans that you have afoot?
Right. Well, I'll kick off, I think, because I never get a word in as I start. So, yeah, the lockdown occurred last year. Production, we were due to do Joking Apart by Alan Ayckbourn. We held our last rehearsal on Monday, the 16th of March, and then we closed down instead of doing the production.
I still have my tickets for that. I found them out the other day. So.
Since then, we spent the first 3 months or thereabouts of lockdown. I sent out a weekly bulletin telling people where they could find all sorts of stuff to look at and keep themselves generally amused on various websites. And we learned how to use Zoom, as did the whole world. And we have continued meeting as a society via Zoom as best we can. So most Wednesday nights when we would normally be rehearsing, we are now holding Zoom meetings, and we've been reading plays by all manner of authors. We've done all sorts of things from Shakespeare through to one-act plays that have been written by people who've just said, hey, I've written a play, you know. And some of them have been very good, and some of them have been not quite so. So we've been doing this. We've got lots of material lined up. We've got the play already in the can, if you like, for Joking Apart. We've got the scenery already. All we need is some new cast. Because one of the problems that we've had over the last 12 months is that, of course, everything changes. And we've had people who've gone off to university, and we've had people who, hang on a bit, lose that. People who have what?
Relocated.
Relocated, that's the word, yes. One of our members moved down south to open a pub. Not the ideal career move, but unfortunately he's gone. And so we do need some new members. that's why we're looking for new members on Facebook and other places.
Yep, well, I say it's a great society to be part of. The work that comes out is absolutely fantastic. Proper professional ethos about absolutely everything you do, even though it is an Amdram group. But one of many years standing, and I think that's the reason why you've kept going, even through pandemics and wars.
Yes, we've been going over 70 years now. We celebrated our 70th anniversary 2 years ago. And fortunately, we just seem to keep attracting some really good members, some loyal members, talented members, and it just seems like a family that just keeps going on. So we have been very fortunate in that respect. But anyway, yes, we have got plenty of plans in the future. We are planning when we come back in end of June, early July, government guidelines permitting, to start rehearsing for what could broadly be called a review or a studio evening in September, to give everybody a bit of a chance, everybody to get warmed up again. Then we can go through and do our children's play, annual children's play. We've got to decide which one that's going to be. Could be Dick Whittington, perhaps, Puss in Boots. And then hopefully in March, we will be able to perform Joking Apart as part of Codsall Arts Festival.
Now, just the 2 years behind schedule, but the show must and always will go on, which is what counts, even if it is delayed a little bit. But these things do happen, as we've seen over the last 14 months or so since all this kicked off. But I say that it's the enthusiasm for it as well which shows through, and I think that's again true of all the members and the work that goes in via the committee and everybody else involved, the look of each piece that you do, and the fact that you're doing it on a scale where it is an intimate venue in Codsall Village Hall, but one which really deserves having. And this is really, I mean, having been to a few of these sort of things around the country, whether it be the likes of the work that you're doing, I've seen the arts festivals in coastal resorts where they've brought in rep the theatre over the summer months, and all of this, it's the same quality to me. The guys in Frinton were being paid. You guys are doing it for the love of it, and it is just so good to see art so close up, and I think that's what we've missed, really, isn't it?
It is, but it just keeps rolling. It's, as Wendy said, it's this family thing. We are always on the lookout for something to do, something new. During the first lockdown, I think it was, I went shopping, and I came across two hairdressers' chairs. Pneumatic hairdressers' chairs. Now, we had a thought about doing Steel Magnolias, which is a play that's set in a ladies' hairdressing salon. Now we have two chairs to do it. So it's just something else, just stocking there in the background, waiting for the opportunity to actually put it on stage and get people to come and see it.
So either that will find you on Cash in the Attic or its latest equivalent at some point, trying to shift a couple of chairs. Yes, that's the way it goes. But fingers crossed we have something along those lines. But I mean, from the fun plays in the past, like the Vicar of Dibley, to so much more serious ones when we've told the story of suffragettes. There's been some great shows over those 70 years. Long may that continue. Some new members to help fill out the cast due to absentees for Joking Apart is one of those things that you're looking for. But equally, to be part of the likes of the Christmas children's play, which is always so well received by the village and beyond. And I know that will go down well. Where do people go to find out more about what you're up to and get involved?
Going to ask this. I'm just checking the phone number because we always get it wrong when we talk to you.
That's good to check.
If people want to go, we have a Facebook page. Just search for Codsall Dramatic Society. We have our web page, Codsall Dramatic Society.
Codsall Dramatic Society @gmail.com.
Yeah.
It can be emailed there.
Email address. Yeah,
go on, what's the phone number? We're building up to it. I can see Colin's got his reading glasses on.
I can't find it.
It's 01902.
Do we know that bit?
267 322.
Is it?
I love the element of surprise. It's like a suspense thriller that you're putting on for us at the moment.
267 322. Yes, that's the one.
01902.
01902.
Oh, sorry,
267 322.
267 322. Stick the Wolverhampton prefix on it. and you're away. Well, I say it's fantastic to know that you are about to emerge from lockdown with some great stuff on the way. The review in September sounds awfully exciting, and we will talk close to that. And of course, we'll talk about the Christmas play for kids too, and the good fun that will follow there. And then we'll do a new interview with a new cast of Joking Apart, and we'll do a throwback to the last one as well at the same time. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Excellent. That'd be great fun.
Yeah, that would be really good. Just to point out that we'd be delighted to welcome non-acting members as well.
Mm-hmm.
We always need people backstage,
Absolutely.
technical people just to make a cup of tea and come along and see what we're about.
That's two important things, theatre and tea. I like it. It works well. Colin and Wendy Peterson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jason.
Nice to meet you again.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
England Together was released at the start of this month as we run up towards the Euros for 2021. It's really Euro 2020. It gets really confusing at this point. However, one thing that isn't confusing is the fantastic quality of this song. Steve Heathcock joins me now to tell me more about what's going on. Hello, sir.
Morning, Jason.
How are we doing?
Morning.
Yeah, all good?
Yeah, good, thank you. We had a few technical problems, but we got in that way. We're all sorted.
We're just about there, which is what counts. So, the single itself, we heard a little bit earlier on this year, but you've now got a video, you've got some great publicity going on around it, and it's been so well received.
It's fantastic. We did the video on the 24th of April in Swaddling Coats. Do you know Swaddling Coat at all?
I do.
It was filmed there. Paul Caseman is the Boris Johnson lookalike. You've probably seen the Boris Johnson lookalike in there.
Mm-hmm.
He actually paid for the video, and he's selling for 1,000 views in over a week, so we can't say more than that. And obviously we've got Frank Bruno doing a little video for us as well when the Euro starts. So it's fantastic publicity all around at the moment.
Brilliant. Well, it's good to hear that this is going on. Good to know what you've got happening. And I say, the thing about the song is we get a lot of football records and a lot of them aren't very good. This is fantastic. That's the good bit about this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really catchy. I mean, everybody seems to embraced it. And we're getting lots of. First press was done yesterday in Staffordshire Live, and obviously I'll be following Express and Star, Stabby's News, Birmingham Mail, stuff like that. So. And then hopefully Central News Midlands today, so it's all good.
Yep, fantastic. And you say deserve to be in all the local media, so which is the reason we have you here. And I'm glad that we were one of the first to talk to you a few months ago as you were building up to this release. And so with the release here, give us a bit of the background on those who were involved. Remind us who's actually on the single.
Yeah, there's Take Two. There's Nick Jarman, who does all the promoting. There's Harmonic 4, Ivor Jones, Kevin Jenkins is actually in Spain, the guitarist bits. He's actually in Spain, he sent his bits, so that's a bit. And then obviously Paul Caseman, the Boris Johnson lookalike. Mm-hmm. There's Darren Burrows, who did the video. Dan Brass, he's done a bit of promoting in Swaddling Coat, that area, Burton, as well. So, it's all good.
Yeah, a good team involved, and that's come together to produce some fantastic music. And these are all acts who people will have seen, whether they're on holiday in Spain or around the Midlands as well, which is the other good bit too, because these are all acts who haven't had a lot going on over the last 12 months, because they're normally playing social clubs throughout the year, aren't they?
Of course, yeah, and obviously we're just coming out of lockdown now, so I mean, I'll be gigging again soon, and so will everybody else. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Have you got anything lined up yet?
Yeah, I've got some. My first one's next week. The Squiddle down in Alverley, So fingers crossed that goes, and then June, July, everything's I've got quite a few coming in.
Back to normal, back to the residencies, and back to enjoying performing out on the road, and back to having an income again, which will be quite nice.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I actually go on universal credit like a lot of people, which is no shame, but it's been a struggle.
Absolutely. No, I mean, everybody's needed some support throughout the last 12 months, whether it's mental, physical or financial, and we've all had to have something different to what we would have expected anyway, and say it's all about us working together to make the most of this time, and that England Together is about having some great music towards the celebration of Euros 2020, which is obviously postponed. So, this is going to be part of the fun of the event, and of course you'll be cheering England on.
Absolutely, I'm a big England fan. I love football, let's hope we can go all the way.
Yeah, well, what do you think? Let's be realistic, and obviously we know what the dream is, but let's be realistic. How far do you think we're going to get?
Definitely past the group stages. I'll be the group, but anything past the group stages. But the further England go, the further the sun goes. You know, that's always the case. If you've got a song, when England are out, the song's out. So hopefully England go all the way. That's what I want. That's what everybody wants, who's English and proud.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, most people are going to be watching this on TV. There's not going to be the sort of travelling that we've seen in volume in the past, even though, you know, so there will be some spectators in stadia. It is not the same as we would have ordinarily, but it doesn't take anything away from the fact that we still want to see England do well, particularly following Brexit, I suppose, as well, because this is our chance to shine a little bit, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, I think the song with England Together is, I'm hoping to bring the country and the nation together with the song, obviously, because the pandemic has been terrible for everybody, not just me, artists, businesses, everybody suffered, you know, all those deaths, and so let's have a bit of positivity, you know, with the song and try and bring the country together. It's a fun song, it's a fun video. Let's try and do it, you know. Absolutely.
We will take a look and listen at all of that now, but people need to get their hands on this. They can see it online on YouTube, but they can also buy this as well?
Yeah, well, you can stream it on Spotify and it's on iTunes to download, and it'll be on all the download platforms, just waiting for them to, but iTunes, downloads, Spotify for streaming at the moment, yeah.
Okay, so that's the start. And you've got a Facebook group as well?
Yeah, England Together. If they join that, Jason, they can actually donate to the NHS. I'm trying to get a Frank Bruno link on there as well, obviously, because we've got Frank involved at some point. I did a little video for us, so I do need a link for that as well.
So that'll follow the next few days and weeks, so keep checking back for that one. But you are looking for England Together on Facebook, and if you search for that, what picture have we got on there, just so people know what we're looking for?
The England Together is just like the group shot of all the group. That's still on there, looking. And we've got over 600 members now, so that's quite good in 2 months.
Yeah,
that's quite good.
So keep it following, keep making friends with the group, and let's make sure we can get some good cash donated towards the NHS charities together to help support this too. And again, it's all part of saying thank you. It's about getting everyone together, as you say. Literally, it's in the title, and some great music to boot, which is absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, Steve, thank you for joining us. Thank you for everything done. Thank you to the whole team behind this. Let's get you in all the media, and we'll make sure there's not just us sharing it, and we can have a great time enjoying the track.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. I do appreciate your time and your support. It's been everybody in England together. Thanks you.
England forever, England together, England right now, it's do or die. Watching the lads marching, whoa, 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 whoa.
already have 2 instalments of Breaking the Tranquility of Solitude out there. A third is almost imminent now. Ed Johnson joins us now to tell us more. Hello, sir.
Morning.
How are we doing? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Good stuff. So what has been going on? Because it's probably nearly 12 months since we last spoke, isn't it?
It's got to be, yes, at least, I would think. I think last time we spoke, I was getting ready to launch book 2. Book 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, I've told you about book 2, but they were a year apart. So I think it was December 2019 and December 2020 was book 1 and book 2's launches. I'm hoping that book 3 will be ready for a special day on the 6th of the 6th. But it is, to be perfectly honest, looking unlikely that I'll be ready for that date. It doesn't really matter, but it would have been nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if it goes electronic rather than the paper version, which I know has proved hugely popular, you'll be most of the way there. But for those who don't know the story, give us the background to the whole trilogy, because it was nearly one book, but there were just too many words, weren't there?
Yeah, pretty much. So years and years ago, to cut a long story short, I had various different ideas which were formed from various dreams that I'd had, that I repetitively had over many years. So what I decided to do was to try and put those dreams together and try and make them into some form of a story, even though quite often the dreams didn't really have any relevance to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd try and use them as chapters. So each dream was a chapter in effect. But I soon realised that the dreams were actually influenced by films and music that I'd been listening to over many years. And realistically, that's what they were. They were basically little bits of TV and little bits of film. So that then started to influence how I wrote and what I wrote. So, and it cut a very, very long story short. It ended up becoming a homage to all things film and music, and in specifics, a homage to one very particular band, which ironically I never actually mentioned throughout the whole thing, but they are pretty much homaged in every chapter.
So that's the intriguing way in which the stories come together. And so you've got some celebrity friends who are well behind this, because your forward is written by somebody who's very well known.
Yes, I'm lucky enough over the years to have done various different activities, one of which has been football. I coach, as you know, I coach goalkeepers, and I organised a charity match, crikey, it was something about 10 years ago now. And just prior to that, I'd gone to a charity auction to try and drum up some support for my event.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to bump into Nick Hancock, the TV celebrity. They think it's all over, and lots of other famous things. And he's obviously a massive Stoke fan. And this match I was organising was between the ex-players of Stoke and the ex-players of Wolves. So I just, in the break, sort of having a coffee, just sidled up to him and thought, well, he's just another guy. Okay, he's famous, but he's a football fan. So I told him what it was all about briefly and asked him if he'd mind supporting it. And lo and behold, 10 years later, I still chat to him quite regularly, and he's agreed to do the forwards to the books. And I've just recently had a meeting with him the other day, just to confirm that he's happy to do the forward for book 3. Because at the end of the day, as much as it's nicer for him to do it, I didn't want him to be doing it out of any feeling that he had to. I want him to be on board and that he likes it and he's read it, and he has. He's read all 3 books, which, as you said earlier, originally was one book. He's read them all, and he's given me a lot of help. Not only has he wrote the forward, but he's actually given me his expertise, helped me out a great deal. So, I have a million thanks for him.
Yeah, because he's done quite a bit of writing himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, I can't give you any details. Obviously, he wouldn't thank me if I did, but I believe that he's heavily engrossed in writing a book at this time, but that's as much as I could say, because I wouldn't want to steal his thunder.
Mm-hmm. So let's have a chat with him when that happens. That'd be good to do. But meanwhile, back to what you've got going on, and there's some interesting points during this story and the way it's come about, because you're kind of the main character in this, aren't you? But you're not.
Yeah, I don't know, because prior to this I've never done any writing before. But everybody I've spoken to sort of given me the impression that a lot of people on their first book tend to have one of the characters, if not the main character, will be basically them.
But you've got to write about someone you know, haven't you, I think? And he puts that into it. And I think for the fact that this is surrounding a lot of different dreams you've had over the years, there's a lot of you in it already.
Yeah, naively, when I first started writing it, I even called the character Eddie. Mm-hmm. But I quickly realised that just got really complicated, and when I was trying to envisage what was going on, it just coloured it wrong. And when everybody was reading it, they were envisaging me, rather than this character who's, although he has my character traits, he's definitely not me. You know, he's this go-getter action man doing all the stuff. Well, that's clearly not me. So, yeah, he's got a lot of character traits that I've put in for him because they are my character traits. Little bits of OCD, all the film referencing and the music references there, what comes out of his character. He's obsessed with XYZ, and he does this every time something happens. He makes film quotes and makes references to music regularly to try and cope with what's going on. He'll be humorous when perhaps humour wasn't really appropriate at the time. And again, all these things are things that have sort of secretly come from my character. But it's not me. Definitely not me. But Brodie Martins is not Eddie Johnson.
But there is something about you which ties in with this story as well. So it's very personal to you.
Definitely. For anybody who doesn't know more about this situation, I got into having tattoos many years ago when I was sort of 30-something or other, and I had one tattoo, and then I had another tattoo, and as anybody who's got tattoos knows, it can be quite addictive. But after two, one on each arm, I decided, that's enough's enough. I can't really afford to go down that line, and that's enough. I'm not one for particularly showing them off. But then when these dreams and all the books started, I decided to have a tattoo that would represent the book. And that literally just grew and grew and grew, and the tattoo grew, and then the story grew. And for a long time, it was difficult to tell whether I was telling the story of the tattoo or whether the tattoo was telling the story that I was trying to put on paper. So yeah, I do have a rather extensive tattoo which depicts 90% of the story and gives away the game as to what the name of the group is for those who don't realise.
So is this something you're prepared to share before the third novel's out?
In terms of what the name of the group is?
Well, what the tattoo looks like, because I said we have pictures.
Well, I suppose if you so desire for me to undress.
That's.
I don't think if people are watching this when they're having the breakfast, I'm not too sure whether that would be too good an idea. But
we'll go for it then. So for those listening to the audio, you're being spared this, but Eddie has got a tattoo. Okay, he is willing to share. He's now going to do. Yeah, go on.
I can't see, so you'll have to tell me.
Okay, we'll get you to move up and down a bit. This is the first time we've ever had anybody do this.
I'll test your age and show you what my character's like. Do a bit of an anaspal. Does that mean anything to you?
Nothing to me.
Oh, up a bit, down a bit.
Oh, we're in the golden shot. That's where we are.
You got it.
I'm aware of television culture from yesteryear. Okay, so here he goes. And that is a big tattoo.
It certainly is.
And then move down a bit. There we go. So down a bit further so we can see the top. And there we go. It starts at the neck all the way down the back. I think that gives some the game away, as you say. But that is an amazing piece of artwork and could equally easily be the cover of the third book itself.
Well, I did think about that actually, and basically I didn't do that because the tattoo is mentioned throughout the three books as something that influences the storyline. A couple of the characters in the book actually refer to it and say, oh, that picture on your back there, that looks a bit like what happened yesterday, sort of thing. So that does come into it as a weird understory. But the tattoo, I know you've just seen it, and obviously the people who have watched it will have seen it. If you can imagine, it's a character bursting out from within another character.
So that will make sense as you read the book. The important thing now is to get people to read the book. If they haven't read anything yet, you've got time to read the first two before the third one comes out. Fingers crossed it'll still be the 6th of June, but it's looking a bit dicey for that now. However, you'll be able to follow all the details by your publishing website. Give us all the details of how people can find all of this.
Yeah. The details is EDJ Publishing, and if you're telling anybody, you can pronounce it as Edge. That's the whole point of it. It's an edgy production. But yeah, edjpublishing.com. Use all the W's, and that will take you to the website. And on there, you can read all the blogs. You can watch all my vlogs, which I've been doing for the last couple of years to promote the event. And you can click on a link that will take you direct to Amazon. And hopefully in the near future, you'll be able to just click on it and buy it straight off me as my own shop. But that isn't currently available. But Amazon does a great job, and you can have it with you within 24 hours if you've got Prime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going back to what was saying about the visuality of the tattoo, this character is a bit like Alien, if you like. The character comes from within the character and then sends down a little monster which cuts a hole in the back of the guy who's just released this monster to release another monster. Well, obviously all that, if you look carefully enough, actually tells the story of what happens in the last chapter. So I thought, well, I won't use it for the cover because otherwise everybody, if they've read the first 2 books, they'll know what that means, and it will straight away be a massive giveaway as to.
Okay, so we will pretend we didn't say that. That has a spoilers alert. So we'll forewarn people just before that. However,
it's complicated enough that I think if you haven't read book 1 or 2, what I've just said will make no sense.
So don't remember that when you do read book 1 and 2, get them now through edjpublishing.com, and you can enjoy this strange romp through what started off as dreams, have turned into a bit of Eddie in himself, and now are 3 novels. So soon to become 3 novels, 2 already, 3rd one to follow, that will enlighten and entertain and give you some good fun along the way. Eddie, always good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to speaking soon about the goalkeeping in the not too distant future. Okay.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for having me on. That's great.
Well, that's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 622 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.